Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, like you did something wrong, but you can't explain what? Maybe you apologized for something that wasn't your fault. Maybe you started doubting your own memory of what actually happened. Maybe you felt smaller after talking to someone you trusted. If this has ever happened to you, you weren't imagining it. You were experiencing manipulation. And the most dangerous kind isn't loud or obvious. It's quiet. It's subtle. It hides inside normal conversations, normal relationships, even normal kindness. Today, we're breaking down 7 manipulation tactics that most people never notice until the damage is already done. And for each one, I'll show you exactly what it looks like in real life, so you can recognize it before it happens to you again. Let's start with the first one. Gaslighting, rewriting your reality. Gaslighting is when someone makes you doubt your own perception of reality. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens in small doses, again and again, until you stop trusting yourself. Psychologists describe this as a slow erosion of self-trust, where the victim begins relying on the manipulator to define what's true. Imagine you tell your partner, "You said you'd call me last night, and you didn't." Instead of acknowledging it, they respond, "I never said that. You always make things up. The first time, you might let it go. The second time, you start questioning yourself. By the 10th time, you're not sure what's real anymore." That's gaslighting. It's not about one lie, it's about training you to stop trusting your own mind. If you constantly find yourself saying, "Maybe I'm wrong about things you clearly remember," pause. That self-doubt might not be coming from you. It might be coming from them. Love bombing, too much, too fast. This one feels good at first. That's exactly the point. Love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with affection, attention, and flattery early and intensely to create emotional dependency before you've had time to evaluate them. Research on relationship dynamics shows that excessive early intensity can short-circuit normal judgment, making people commit faster than they would have otherwise. You meet someone, and within 2 weeks they're calling you soulmate. They text constantly. They shower you with compliments. They say things like, "I've never felt this way about anyone." It feels incredible. But ask yourself, do they actually know you yet? Or are they building a connection so fast that you don't have time to notice red flags? Genuine affection grows. Love bombing arrives all at once, like a wave designed to sweep you off your feet before you can think clearly. The guilt trip, turning your boundaries into their pain. This tactic works by making you feel responsible for someone else's emotions even when you've done nothing wrong. You tell a friend you can't lend them money this month. Instead of accepting it, they say, "Wow, after everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me?" Suddenly, you're not just saying no. You feel like you've betrayed them. That shift from "I have a boundary" to "I'm a bad person" is the manipulation. A healthy response to no is disappointment. A manipulative response to no is punishment. The goal of a guilt trip isn't communication, it's control through emotion. The silent treatment, punishment disguised as distant silence, can be healthy when it's used to calm down and think. But silence becomes manipulation when it's used as a weapon. After a disagreement, instead of talking it through, someone goes completely silent for days. They don't explain why. They just disappear emotionally, leaving you anxious, confused, and desperate to fix things. Here's the psychological trap. The silence isn't really about needing space. It's about making you so uncomfortable that you'll do anything to end it. Apologize, give in, or chase them for approval. If silence is consistently used to punish rather than to cool down, that's not conflict resolution. That's control. Triangulation, bringing in a third person. This tactic involves pulling a third person into a two-person conflict to create jealousy, insecurity, or competition. A partner says, "My ex never had a problem with this. Or a coworker mentions, everyone else on the team agrees with me, when no one actually said that. The goal isn't really about the third person. It's about making you feel replaceable, outnumbered, or insecure so you're more likely to back down. Notice when comparisons appear out of nowhere in an argument. That's often not honesty. That's strategy. Playing the victim, flipping the story, this is one of the most disorienting tactics because it reverses the entire situation in seconds. You confront someone about something hurtful they did. Instead of acknowledging it, they immediately respond with, "I can't believe you're attacking me right now. After everything I'm dealing with?" Now you're comforting the person who hurt you. This works because most people have empathy, and manipulators know exactly how to trigger it at the exact moment they should be held accountable. The pattern to notice: real accountability sounds like "I'm sorry, let me understand how I hurt you." Victim flipping sounds like "you're hurting me by bringing this up." Intermittent reinforcement, the hot and cold cycle, this is considered one of the most powerful manipulation tactics because it's the same principle used in gambling addiction. When affection is unpredictable, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, with no clear pattern, the brain becomes obsessed with trying to win the affection back. One week, someone showers you with attention. The next week, they're distant and cold, with no explanation. Then suddenly, they're warm again. You start walking on eggshells, trying to figure out what you did to deserve the good version of them without realizing the inconsistency itself is the trap. Psychologists have found that unpredictable rewards create stronger psychological attachment than consistent ones. That's not romance. That's a behavioral hook. Here's what connects all 7 of these tactics. None of them rely on physical force. They rely on confusion, self-doubt, and emotional exhaustion. Manipulation isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet sentence that makes you question your memory. The compliment that arrives too fast. The silence that lasts too long. The story that suddenly makes you the villain. You don't need to become suspicious of everyone around you. But you do need to trust the signals your body sends you, that uneasy feeling when something doesn't add up, even if you can't explain why yet. Awareness is the first form of protection. Once you can name a pattern, it loses its power over you. If this video helped you recognize something from your own life, you're not alone, and noticing it is already a sign of strength, not weakness. Subscribe and join us as we continue breaking down the hidden psychology behind human behavior, one pattern at a time.